On a dark and rainy night, I happened to come across a Creepypasta website which not only hosted Sonic.exe, but said it had an average rating of 7.7 and an estimated reading time of roughly 14 minutes. I immediately called nonsense, and as such, our long retread through hell began. I hope you enjoy. Also, it's worth noting that you may hear both the sound of some rain in the background as well as my crappy creaking chair in the background as well. My apologies. But for now, stupid. I'm a total Sonic the Hedgehog fan. Much like everyone else, I'm going to make broad assumptions about everyone on the planet. I like the newer games, but I don't mind playing the classics. I don't think I've ever played glitchy or hacked games before, though I don't think I want to play any after the experience I had, It started on a nice summer afternoon. There's no such thing as a nice summer afternoon. They're all terrible. I was playing Sonic Unleashed, and in parentheses, I liked how you get to explore the towns in it. Until I noticed, out of my peripheral vision, that the mailman had arrived and put something in my mailbox as usual. He stops by every day and goes in my mom's room. I don't ever ask why, but it happens, and explains a lot, and why I have to call him Dad while he's here. I paused my game to go see what I got in the mail. The only thing in the mailbox was a CD case for computers! As opposed... Wait, hold on a second. The only thing in the mailbox was a CD case for computers. So not even a CD, just a CD case. A CD case for computers. Good. And a no. Oh my god, neither of those things are going to work in a computer. I took it inside. I looked at the note first and realized it was from my dear friend Kyle. Oh, how we must lie to ourselves. Whoever you are, whatever your name is. Let's just call him that, though. Whom I hadn't heard from in 2 weeks. Can't believe Kyle would ghost me for 2 weeks. I'm me. I know that, though, because I recognized his handwriting. It was terrible. Mine too was, Though, what was weird is how it looked. It looked badly written and scratchy, and somewhat difficult to read. I thought either myself or my doctor may have written it instead, but alas, it was actually Kyle somehow. As if Kyle was having a hard time writing it down and did it in a hurry and or became a doctor because it's fucking chicken scratch, goddammit. This is what he wrote. Tom, fuck off, stop calling me. I changed my number. I can't take it anymore. As a side note, I had to get rid of this thing somehow before it was too late. And so I'm mailing it to you. And I was hoping you'd do it for me. Not that, but between friends. I can't do it. See? No. He's after me, though, and if you don't destroy this CD... It's not a CD, it's a CD case, sir. He'll come after you too, He's too fast for me. 4 dots. Please, Tom, destroy this godforsaken disc before he comes after you too, It's too late for me. Destroy the disc, and you'll destroy him. But do it quick, otherwise he'll catch you and or you'll get distracted by something shiny. Don't even play the game, it's what he wants, just destroy it, period. Please, ... Kyle. Who's Kyle? Well, that was certainly weird, even though Kyle is my friend. Allegedly. And I haven't seen him in 2 weeks. I didn't do what he asked me. You're a bad person, aren't you? I didn't think that a simple gaming disc for PCs, no less, would do anything bad to him, comma, after all, it's just a game, right? Why so serious? We live in a society. Boy, comma, was I wrong about that, ... Anyway, I looked at the disc and it looks like any ordinary computer CDR disc case. Forgot the word case. Except it had black marker on it. Oh, that means it's a super rare ordinary computer CDR disc case. On it written Sonic.exe in all caps, and it was much like Kyle's handwriting. Shit. Meaning that he must have gotten it from someone else. So he must have got it from someone else and immediately thought, well, shit, I gotta write on this. That makes sense. But yeah, he got it from someone else, like a pawn shop, or eBay, or Grandpa. When I saw Sonic on the writing of the CD, I was actually excited. I've never read anything before. I'm very stoked and wanted to play it since I'm a big, in caps, Sonic fan. I went up to my room, all the while gleefully laughing that I was disobeying my friend's orders, and turned on my computer and put the disc in and installed the game. I didn't even get a virus, somehow. When the title screen popped up, I noticed that it was the first Sonic game. I was like, awesome, because I'm easily impressed that someone could somehow put a ROM on a CD. I just think that's really cool. Because, like I said earlier, I like the classics, like Sonic Forces, that classic Sonic game, my favorite Sonic game, Sonic R, they're all classics. The first thing I noticed that was out of place was when I pressed start, there was a split second when I saw the title image turned into something much different, something that I now consider horrifying, before cutting to black. I remember what the image looked like in that split second because I have super hyper realistic 2020 villages. 2020 vision / villages also. Before the game cut to black, the sky had darkened. The title emblem was rusted and ruined. The Sega 1991 was now Sega 666. Then someone rode by on a bicycle and laughed at me for being all predictable in my stories, and I cried for a little bit, but I got back on the computer and started typing in Notepad again, and the water had turned red like blood, except it looked hyper realistic. Oh my. What does that mean? It was icky. I don't know. But the freakiest thing that was in that split second frame was Sonic. His eyes were pitch black and bleeding, with 2 glowing red dots staring right at me. No, at no one else, just at me. Sonic only has eyes for me. And his smile had stretched wider, up to the edge of his face. I was rather disturbed. A little bit. About the image when I saw it, though. I figured that it was just a glitch, and forgot about it. I have a short attention span, and also I'm stupid. But after it cut to black, it stayed like that for about 10 seconds or so, and then another weird thing happened. My mom knocked on the door. And then the saved file select from Sonic the Hedgehog 3 popped up, and I was like, W2E, what? Huh? Ah! WTF. What's this doing in the first Sonic game? The first Sonic game is not the third Sonic game. What's I don't understand life. Anyway, though, then I noticed something off. Again, the background was the dark and cloudy sky of the bad Stardust Speedway level from Sonic CD. Classic. And there were only 3 save files. Oh noes. Well, why? There was only 3 save files to begin with, right? Anyways, the music was that creepy Caverns of Winter music from Earthbound, only it was extended and seemed to have been in reverse, seemingly. You'd think I would be able to tell, but I don't know, I'm just spitballing. And the image for the save file where you see a preview of the level you're on is just red static for all 3 files, as if they couldn't draw anything. What freaked me out more, you're freaked out right now? How? But what freaked me out more was the character select. Select what? The screen? We may never know. But the character select did only show Tails, Knuckles, and to my surprise, Dr. Robotnik! Just screaming words. Now I was sure that something was up. I mean, fuck Robotnik, right? I mean, how can you play as Robotnik in a classic Sonic game, for crying out loud? Does Adventure 2 not count as a classic Sonic game? I don't know about that. That's when I realized that this wasn't a glitchy game, it was a hacked game! Aw, dip! Yeah, it definitely looked hacked. It was really creepy. But as a smart gamer, I wasn't scared. I'm sorry. I was so scared I said that wrong. I didn't mean to. And in parentheses, or at least I tried not to be, right after the parentheses? Okay. I told myself that it was just a hacked game, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's not illegal. No one tell Nintendo! Anyways, shaking off the creeped out feeling, I picked file 1 and chose Tails, and then I selected and got started. The game froze for about 5 seconds, and I heard a creepy pixelated laugh that sounded an awful lot like that Kefka guy from Final Fantasy before cutting to black. Are you sure this is only 14 minutes long? The screen stayed black for about 10 seconds or more. I really don't know. If only I had a stopwatch by my side. A stopwatch to take with me wherever I go, so that I may time things. Alas, we don't live in a perfect world. If we did, my chair wouldn't squeak, now would it? Then it showed the typical level title thing, except the simplistic shapes were different shades of red, and the text showed only Hill, Act 1! The screen faded in, and the title vanished, revealing Tails in the Green Hill Zone from Sonic 1. The music was different though, it sounded like a peaceful melody in reverse. There's no such thing as that. It can't be peaceful and in reverse at the same time, because reverse means, Satan's in your music and shit. But anyways, I started playing and a Tails start running like you would in any of the classic Sonic games. What was odd was that as Tails was running along the level, there was nothing but flat ground. This was the worst Sonic game ever. And a few trees for 5 minutes on the dot. That was when the peaceful music started to lower down into a slow, deep tones very slowly as I kept going. Oh my god. What's happening? I suddenly saw something, and I stopped to see what it was. Let me get closer to the mic. It was one of the small animals lying dead on the ground bleeding, and in parentheses, that was when the music started to slow down, Tails had a shocked and saddened look on his face that I never saw him have before, except for that one time when I showed up at his house unannounced, and, he was like, fuck this guy. So I kept I had him move along, and he kept that worried look on his face. As he kept moving, I saw more dead animals as Tails moved past them, looking more and more worried as the music lowers, and he moves past more dead animals. I'm seeing a uncreative theme here. I was shocked to see how they all died. They all looked like someone killed them. Really? I mean, but in rather gruesome ways. A squirrel was hanging by a tree with what appeared to be his entrails hanging out. The story has like a rating of a 7-something. How? A bunny had all 4 of his limbs torn off. And a duck had his... I felt sick to my stomach when I saw this massacre. And apparently so did Tails. Me and Tails were like this. And after a few more seconds, there were no more animals, and the music seemed to have stopped, I still kept Tails to continue. Wait. I still kept Tails to continue. No. No. After a minute passed, after the music stopped, Tails was running up a hill. They added a hill to the game. That's very impressive. And then he stopped. Oh, that's boring. It wasn't until I saw why. Sonic was there, on the other side of the screen, with his back against Tails, with his eyes closed. Tails looked happy to see Sonic, but then his smile faltered. He couldn't help but notice that Sonic's shoes indicated that he was from the Adventure series, and Tails became sickened. This wasn't classic Sonic. This isn't my Sonic! Look at his shoes! He's ridiculous! But Tails walked slowly towards Sonic, and I noticed that I wasn't even moving my keyboard to make him move. Usually to make him move, I'd shake my keyboard all around in different directions, but for some reason I didn't have to. I don't think I have the Wii hooked up properly. So this has to have been a cutscene. Not a good one, but, a one. Suddenly, I began to have a growing feel of dread. Who among us does not have a growing feel of dread? Judge Dredd now in stores. As Tails walked closer to Sonic to get his attention. Oh, how desperately he wanted Sonic's attention. That's the Tails' entire character archetype. Love me, damn it! I felt that Tails was in danger, and something bad was gonna happen. I heard faint static growing louder as Tails was but inches away from Sonic and stopped and stuck his hand out to touch him. That foreboding feeling in my gut was growing stronger, and I felt the urge to tell Tails to get away from Sonic as the static grew louder, even though Tails wouldn't have been able to hear you because he's a video game character, and this isn't how that works. But suddenly, in a split second, I saw Sonic's eyes open, and they were black with the red glowing dots, just like that title image. Thought there wasn't a smile. Thought there wasn't a smile. What? Thought there wasn't a smile is the name of my band. When that happened, though, the screen turned black, and the static sound was off. It stayed black for about 7 seconds, just guesstimating. If I had to say, I wasn't really counting, but if I had to go back to that experience inside my head, I'd average it out to about 7 seconds. Not 10, not 8, 7. And then white text appeared, forming a message saying, hello, period. Do you want to play with me? At this point, I was creeped out, I didn't want to continue with the game. But my curiosity got the better of me. I want to hit you with a rolled up newspaper and say bad, and then I want to rub your nose in this. Look what you did. Bad! So anyways, curiosity got the better of me, that dog, when I was taken to a different level, with the level title now saying, Hide and Seek! This time, I was in the Angel Island level from Sonic 3, and it looked like everything was on fire! Cool. Tails looked as though he was scared out of his wits! This time, he actually looked at me and made frantic gestures to me as if he wanted to get out of the area he was in as fast as possible, or he had it like up to here-ish with my shit, and he didn't know how else to express that other than the gestures. So those are my two theories going on. But I was starting to get freaked out by this ... I mean, Tails was actually breaking the fourth wall. Trying to... you sicken me, Tails. Trying to tell me to get him out of there. Where the fuck would he go? You're gonna live with a 16-bit character? Is that what's gonna happen? And then it turns full-on fanfiction? What? So, I pressed down on the arrow key as hard as I could. Pressing harder doesn't do anything. I made him run as fast as I could. A pixelated version of that creepy theme when you meet Shadow at the Ark as Robotnik and Sonic Adventure 2 was playing as I made Tails trek through the desolate forest trying to help him escape from whatever he was trying to run from. Suddenly, I heard that creepy laugh again, ... that awful, Kefka laugh. What? What's your fucking problem with Kefka? Why is that the reference? Oh, reference. Why you don't soil a good game with your fucking nonsense right after 10 seconds have passed as I helped Tails. 10 seconds. I helped Tails, though, okay? Run through the forest, and then I started seeing flashes of Sonic popping everywhere on the screen, again, with those black and red eyes. The music changed to that suspenseful drowning jingle. I hate that suspenseful drowning jingle. As I see Sonic behind Tails, slowly gaining up on him, flying! Sonic wasn't running, he was actually flying. Are you gonna say it a third time? The flying pose! His sprite was making looked very similar to Metal Sonic's flying pose in Sonic CDs. Sega up here reusing assets, who would have thought? Except it was just Sonic, and he had the black and the red eyes again, only, and then that paragraph ends like an incomplete thought, and then another paragraph starts. This time, he had the most deranged-looking grin on his face. He looked as though he was enjoying the torment he was giving the poor little fox as he gained up on him. Suddenly, when Tails tripped, and in parentheses, another cutscene! The music stopped and Sonic vanished. Tails laid there and started crying for 15 seconds. I counted those, actually. The scene was rather upsetting to watch, but I'm not gonna stop. You can't make me. You're not my mom. And I kind of teared up myself. Because, I'm real emotional about CD discs. I mean, not discs, CD cases. What were we talking about? But then Sonic appeared right in front of Tails, and Tails looked up in horror. As, who wouldn't, really? You look up and you see Sonic, a weird, like, humanoid blue hedgehog. Of course you'd be fucking terrified. But, here's the thing. Blood started to come down from those blackened eyes of Sonic's as a grin slowly grew from his face as he looked down at the horrified fox. I could do nothing but watch. I could have turned off the PC in hindsight. That didn't... Shit. But, just in a split second, Sonic lunged at Tails. Right before the screen went black, There was a loud screeching noise that only lasted 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 5. Then the text returned. Only this time it said, "You're too slow, comma, want to try again, not on, the later Sonic, bye-bye." And then that god-awful laugh came with it. "Kefka, why you haunt me? How dare this person never finished Final Fantasy VI, and now they're taking out their angst on the world." I was so shocked, though, by what had happened. Did Sonic murder Tails? No, he couldn't have, unless I wrote that he did. I'm the villain. Oh my god! I shook off the shock as I was brought back to the character select. Keep in mind, author could stop, but no. The save file that had Tails was different. Tails was no longer in the box itself, but in the TV screen itself, which isn't a box. It's what? Which was flickering with that red static. Tails' expression scared me. His eyes were black and bleeding. His orange fur had gone black, and he had an expression of anguish on his face. If I had to explain it. Trying to ignore it, I picked Knuckles next. Trying to ignore it, I think I'll keep indulging it first, before I ignore it. The laugh came back again, and the screen cut to black again. I still don't believe this is 14 minutes. No. And stayed there for another 10 seconds. This story is giving me asthma. It's either that or sinuses are working up. Curse you, Tom. But this time the level said, "You can't run!" Sega's development philosophy for most Sonic games. If you do try and run, you fall through shit. The next level looked much different. It had the ground of the scrap brain zone, but the sky background looked like the main menu. It had the dark, reddish, cloudy sky, but it was the music that creeped me out the most. It sounded like Giygas' theme right after you beat Pokey in Earthbound. That doesn't sound scary. I also noticed that Knuckles looked afraid, just like Tails did. It's almost like I couldn't think of anything different to put here. Though not as much. Dan Green, he's a tough cookie. He's not gonna get all upset in face of danger. He was Yugi, I'm just saying. More rather, though, he looked a little unnerved. Well, I'm sure that if he summons the spirit of the Pharaoh, everything's going to be okay. He broke the fourth wall, just like Tails, and ruined the story, just like the story. And looked as though if he wasn't sure about going on, but I made him move anyway. I hate to see them suffer, so with that said, I enjoy watching it, if I do say so. He ran down the straight pathway in this dark level, and as he did, the screen started to flicker red static a couple of times. And then that maddening laugh came again. "Kefka!" I yelled imaginarily. Then, after a few seconds of running, I noticed several bloodstains on the metallic ground. Where'd those come from? I felt a growing sense of fear again, thinking something horrible is going to happen to Knuckles. Why would something horrible happen to Knuckles? Nothing horrible has happened in the story. Oh, wait a minute. He looked nauseated, walking down the blood-stained road, but I still kept him going. This seemed like a good idea, and I can't see why it's not. It seems pretty foolproof thus far. Suddenly, as Knuckles ran, Sonic appeared, dip, right in front of him, with those black and red eyes, and then red static appeared again when the static vanished, showing nothing but black screen with text saying, it says found you, but it's like capital F-O, lowercase u, capital N, lowercase d, capital Y, capital O, lowercase u. So it's like something from 2006. Something. It says 2013, but I'm not that dumb. I was now scared. Before, I lied to you about my scaredness. Now, I'm terrified, though. Sonic found Knuckles already? What was going on? Anyway, red static came again, and then I was back to the level. Knuckles looked like he was panicking. And Sonic was nowhere to be found. Why was he panicking? And this time, that high-pitched squealing from the Silent Hill 1's final boss was playing? Why? Sonic bought a sound effects CD and that happened to be on it. Go figure. Was this some kind of boss battle with Sonic? I hope to God it wasn't. Honestly. Why? I don't think I could ever bring myself to fight Sonic. He's the only friend I have. Suddenly, Sonic appeared right behind Knuckles. Oh, who saw that coming? In what appeared to be pixelated black smoke. Sure. Sonic liked to vape. And I made Knuckles turn and then punch Sonic. You know, with the punch key. But Sonic vanished in black pixelated smoke before I could even land a hit. That terrible laugh went off again. Then Sonic appeared behind Knuckles again, and I made him punch him again, and Sonic vanished again. Is this an episode of fucking Dragon Ball Z? And vanished! You'll never defeat me, Knuckles, and now we're gonna stretch this out for 5 episodes. But Knuckles was panicking even more, and even I felt like I was going crazy. Sonic was practically playing with us. You know, not in a fun way, but, you know, you could... he was playing a sick, twisted little mind game with me and Knuckles, but mostly Knuckles, because I am a smart gamer. Go to hell, Knuckles. Another cutscene played as Knuckles fell to his knees and clutched his head, sobbing. I felt his agony. I love you, Knuckles! Sonic was actually driving us both crazy. One of us, at least. And then, in a split second, Sonic launched at Knuckles, and the screen went black, with another distorted screeching noise that lasted for at least 3 seconds, I counted. Another text message appeared. So many souls to play with, so little time, ... space. Would you agree? ? Sonic.exe sent me a message in class, and it asked me if I liked him. Yes, no. And he wants me to check one of the boxes. But I'm not sure which one to check. What the hell? ... Just what is going on? You're writing the story. Don't ask me. I don't fucking know. I didn't even finish this the first time. But I started to think Sonic was actually trying to talk to me through the game. That doesn't make any sense. Why would anyone want to do that? But I was too scared to think that. Even though I just thought it, I was too scared to think it. Makes sense, because don't think about it. I was brought back to the main menu, and this time the second file box had Knuckles in the TV screen. His red fur had darkened to a reddish gray. His dreadlocks were dripping with blood, and his eyes were black and bleeding too. Creative. And he had a look of sadness on his face. I began to think that those are the actual characters trapped in those TV screens. No, don't use logic or try and figure stuff out, author. That's dangerous. That's gonna make the story go on too long. Stop it. But I couldn't believe it. I didn't want to believe it. So I shut off the game and took a break. I took a nap. Wish I hadn't. Woke up all rested. I fucking hated it. And also, I then began to have the most disturbing / stupid nightmare. I was in pitch black darkness, though I was under the light given off by a lamp that hung above my head. I could hear the cries of Knuckles and Tails nearby. They were saying stuff like, "Help us," and "Why did you give us to him?" and "Run away before he gets to you too," and "How come you can't read letters properly and listen to simple fucking instructions? God damn it!" The cries died out as I then heard Sonic's laugh. His laugh, ... It sounded a lot like the distorted Kefka laugh. Remember Kefka? He was in Final Fantasy. "You're a lot fun to play with, kid, just like your friend Kyle." Even I'm gonna pretend you have friends. Though he didn't last long, ... I was scared and looking around for the source of the voice, ... Aren't you still in a dream? Quote unquote, "Won't be long now until you join him and all my other friends." I saw him walking towards me, flickering in and out in several directions. He's using his ninjutsu on me. "You can't run, kid. You're in my world now, just like the others." When he grabbed me and I saw his bleeding black and red-eyed grinning face, I woke up in a fright. I was terrified. And so, after a couple of hours, I decided to continue playing the game. You know, I just had a night terror because I played this game, and so I was thinking, after I wake up, let's boot that shit up and let's do this shit. So I turned on the computer, turned on the game, and selected Robotnik next. Makes sense. I don't see why you wouldn't want to do that. I still thought that was wacky, though, playing as Robotnik. That's the craziest thing ever. And I think two animal characters who are fictional, I think they may have died and got trapped inside a computer. And also, later on, I think there's a plush. But, you know, this was crazy right here. Am I right, everyone? But anyways, the level title appeared again, and this time it said ... That's the most well-named title I've read in this entire story, which I found really freaky. Can you just wave anything in front of the author? It's like, oh god! You know, I found that really freaky, and yet somehow I'm intrigued. Give it to me. This time, though, I was in some kind of hallway. Didn't really look like it was from any of the classic Sonic games. Maybe those not classic Sonic games, but not from any classic Sonic games. Let's just make that clear. Though it was the pixelated style. Maybe you just don't know your shit, author. The floor was shiny and checkered. The walls were a dark grayish purple with animated candle lights and a few dark bloodstains here and there, you know, just to brighten up the room and shit. And there was a dark red curtain hanging above on the top part of the screen every 12 seconds, get this shit, or so. That red curtain sways very slowly, but whenever you're playing the game, you can barely see it move. The music was oddly pleasant. This whole thing is terrifying music, though. A+. A piano playing a rather sad, yet peaceful song. But I knew better. Me no like music. This was the song that played in Hill Act 1, only it wasn't in reverse. Oh, so it was just playing. You didn't have to add the alright. Robotnik didn't look entirely nervous like Tails and Knuckles did, but he did have a suspicious look on his face, as if he was just a bit paranoid. He did a little animation. The game has a budget. When I just left him standing, he turns his head to the left, and then to the right at least twice, and then shrugs at me as if he has no idea where he was or what was going on, even though I was scared out of my mind about what was going to happen. I had Robotnik continue onward, because I don't care what happens to him. So, there we go. I was wacky playing as Robotnik, though. He did his usual running animation, and in parentheses, comma, when you've beaten him at the end of a classic Sonic game, and you chase him in a classic, right? Am I right? High five! Woo! As we continued going through the hallway, then I stop at a long flight of stairs leading downward. Now, I was nervous. Even Robotnik seemed unsure of himself, though I pressed onward. The author is just full of bad ideas. Just one bad idea after another. And totally pumped about it, too. Like, yeah, I'll do that shit. Stupid? You bet. As I led Robotnik down the stairs, though, I noticed that the walls have gotten darker and more reddish. I don't see why they would get red. The red torches, oh, those are also red? Why? Are now an eerie blue. Why would you want to be blue? Well, blue isn't the color of blood. Then we landed onto another hallway. What? This one was longer than the last one. Or at least it felt like it. The story said in parentheses. And then we headed down another flight of stairs down. This one was much longer down. Took at least down 1 full minute down. That was 60 seconds. And then I heard that horrid Kefka laugh again. And I thought, oh, you fine, you Squaresoft, how dare you? Again, and then the music slowly faded until it was quiet. As it did, the walls turned more dark, and the torches were a black flame now. A hyper-realistic black flame, though. When Robotnik landed onto the third hallway, I noticed he now looked really creeped out. Shocker. I didn't see that comment, actually. Though he tried to hide it. But I could see through those things that he did, and I couldn't blame him. I was scared too. And honestly, it was my fault for putting him into this situation as well, so I'm not going to take responsibility for it. Suddenly, Sonic popped right in front of Robotnik, the same way he did Knuckles. And then, red static. Oh god, not red static. The red static lasted for about, if I had to estimate, softball it, 15 seconds, and then it showed me a most unpleasant image. There's a sequel. I mean, the image showed a hyper-realistic of Sonic. I'm sorry, as a side note, but also, I'm sorry, the image showed a hyper-realistic of Sonic. What? The image showed a hyper-realistic of Sonic. A hyper-realistic of what, Sonic? Standing in the darkness, where you can only see his face, while his head and torso faded into black. It was super duper cliche, especially now. And when I say hyper-realistic, I mean like he looked so real, you could actually see the lines in his blue fur. As if you could actually feel the fur if you touch the screen. You can't, obviously. We haven't really developed fur tech for PCs yet. We're working on it, though. His face, oh god, he had the most horrifying smile I had ever seen. He doesn't brush his teeth, also. And that's saying something, considering I saw that image at the start of the game. His eyes are wide and black, and once again, this can't be 14 fucking minutes. Crying blood, and in parentheses, which also looked hyper-realistic. It's hyper-realistic crying right there. And there were 2 small glowing red dots in those black eyes staring right at me, which were all capped as if staring into my mind. implying I had some kind of brain up there. His grin was wide and demonic. It literally stretched to the sides of his face like the Cheshire Cat. Except Sonic had fangs. Of course he had fucking fangs. Very sharp fangs. Much like the werehog's teeth. Except more vicious looking, somewhat yellowish, and from the look of it, he had stains of blood and small bits of flesh on his lips and fangs as if he ate some animal. Some animal, I don't know which. I stared at the gruesome image for a good 30 seconds, counting each delicious second, never taking my eyes off it. I felt as if he was actually looking at me, smiling at me. That face! It just took 10 seconds. 10 whole seconds for it to etch itself into my brain for good. Then the screen flickered with the red static again 3 times, and on the 3rd time I heard Kefla's laugh, except this time it sounded distorted. Demonic. Even. It went back to the image, except this time there was the text again, though it was messed up, but it was pretty much one of the most horrifying things I looked at since I had this game, ... and in quotations, fully capped, I am God. Yeah. Sure you are. It was when I realized that message while looking at Sonic when it hit me. I realized right there and then. End of sentence. New paragraph. Then, this Sonic was a monster, comma, a pure evil, comma, sadistic, comma, all-powerful, comma, nightmarish, comma, demented monster, ... space, and all his victims, comma, including Tails, comma, Knuckles, comma, Robotnik, comma, and possibly Kyle, comma, are just his little toys, comma, and the game is the very gateway into his chaotic, comma, nightmarish world, and the very hell his victims are trapped in, period. Suddenly, in an actual split second, an actual one timed it, I screamed as Sonic lunged at the screen, screeching loudly, with his mouth wide open to an unnatural length, revealing nothing but a literally spiraling abyss of pure darkness. Imagine that for yourself. It was hyper realistic, pure darkness. It was dark as shit. Before the red static came again, hyper-realistic red static. This time, much louder and much more distorted. Oh, God. How fucking louder and distorted can something get? Except for that, like... never mind. I'll let it just lay. So loud that it hurt my ears. I didn't feel bad for the author, though. I yelled and grabbed my ears. It's okay, ears. Don't worry. Everything's gonna be cool. But I grabbed my ears as the red static screeched for a good 7 seconds. How much you know? You grabbed your ears. I don't think your story adds up, whoever you are. Then, it stopped and showed nothing but black screen. I love black screen. As I sat there, staring at the black screen, one last text came up. Ready for round 2? Dun. Tom! Oh my God, his name is Tom? I had no idea. The Kefka laugh, now sounding more clear, as if Sonic was right behind me. Oh no. Played again 3 times as I looked at the text in shock and confusion. Then I got booted back to the main menu, and this time, the 3rd save file had a TV image of Robotnik in the same, tormented state as Tails and Knuckles. Rinse and repeat. Robotnik's skin turned a dull gray. His mustache drooped. No, not his mustache! And had blackened. No, not his mustache. He dyed his mustache. His glasses broke. I punched him in his face. His glasses broke, and blood is coming from them, and his hyper-realistic glasses, and he had more dead-like expression on his face. Also, his glasses broke. I stole his suspenders. I looked at Tails, Knuckles, and Robotnik, and I cried a bit. Not a lot, just a bit. I pitied them. I pitied them for the agony they're going through that I put them through. That Arthur's a bad person. Huh. Tom is a bad person. Cool. They were forever trapped within the game. Forever tormented by that horrid hedgehog. And always will be. Then the computer shut itself off. I couldn't turn it back on, no matter what I did. And I hit the button like 2 times. I sat there for maybe 25 seconds, horrified by what just happened. Sonic is the very embodiment of evil. And that's why Sega can't make a good one. He tortures people who play his game in more ways than one, and then when he gets bored, he drags you into the game, literally drags you to hell, where he can play with you always as his toy. This is real, by the way. It really happened also. I can't get the game out of my computer. I think it's stuck in there. I tried deleting the hard drive. It didn't work for some reason. But after I sat there for 20 seconds, I heard a voice right behind me, like a whisper. Try to keep this interesting for me, Tom. I turned around to see where the voice came from, and what I saw made me scream. Sitting on my bed, ... staring right at me, ... space, end of sentence, new sentence, space, ... space, was a Sonic plushie, I thought it was space, I got super spooked, smiling, with bloodstains under its eyes, because the only thing scarier than hell is a plushie. Retail value, $19.99. And that was Sonic.exe, the Redux. I hope you enjoyed this trip through memory lane. I know I didn't. But it's probably still better than the remake, which I imagine is just awful. But no worries, because it's in my crosshairs as well, and I am not looking forward to that at all. But this has been Bullshit Creepypasta Storytime, and thank you for watching. Well, welcome back to Enslay. That was a long video, wasn't it? I bet it was uncomfortable, wasn't it? But I bet you're happy it's over and that you're finally back to something warm and comfortable, like Enslay. Everyone's warm, comfortable comfort blanket of comfortableness because it's so comfortable. I hope you enjoyed this video. I don't know why it happened, and some of you may be wondering, but wait, Eerie of Wind, why didn't you just wait until October to do this? So it would fit in with Spooky Finger Puppet Ghost Month. And look, that's a great idea. I mean, it's too late now, but you know, that's still good idea. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. And now to do the end slate things that you do after the video. For one thing, I have various social media accounts, such as a Twitch and a Twitter and the whatnot. Although one I'd like to mention in particular, just because YouTube thought it would be funny to remove the link for this for like every video, I think. I have a Patreon. I don't focus too much on plugging the Patreon, aside from the whole like thanking thing. But yeah, I have a Patreon, and if you like my videos and would like to help out with me creating more of them, it's greatly appreciated. No pressure, but I have to recommend it. I can't even put an ad for it. Not an ad. I'm sleepy. A link for it in the description. But trust me, I have one. It's out there somewhere. You can find it on my Twitter. Hey everyone, let me tell you something. leave all your troubles behind, because, you know, I think it's time. Oh, what's that feeling creeping up in my chest? Oh, it's the thank yous. And so thank you, Phantom, Gannon, and Michaela, Lucas, and Deshaun Lewis. Thank you, Skinny 720, Anal Bag, Whitman, Snooper, Matthew Newitt, Ragnar the Green, shoutouts to running the Discord, I'm still terrified of it, Dino Romani, Cedars, PhD, an actual doctor, Glad Goku, no longer sad, nice to see. We got James Gray, thank you, and Slickster, hold on a sec, Slickster, Matt, oh, damn it, Slickster Maxel Tasca. It's pretty good. Thank you, Gothic Violin and the Pie Man. And hey, it's Brad. And Bradley Harder. Hey, it's Brad again. Hey, Antonio Anguana. Thank you. Oh, wait. Anguano. I was close. Damn. Thank you, Queen Sapphire and Cube Rider, Blinker 002, Lily Starflame, Nikki Layman, Euk. That's my new attempt at pronouncing the name, throwing it out there. Thank you, Nolan and Crunchy Face. Thank you, Fernando Silva and Christina and Kampachi Ron Masama. Thank you, Michael Holder II. Aria, Orderly Chaos, Joseph, hold on a sec, Mortefolio. If I said that wrong, it's Patreon's fault for cutting off the name. See, if I could see the name in one go, then, you know, I could probably say it properly. But I'll try better next time. Thank you, Caitlin Pearson, and Trevor, and Nine-Tailed Wisp, and Stephen Priotaza, or Kokujo Kiyoshiro. Thank you, Tim Plump and Keitaro. David Jensen. Japanese characters that I cannot read, I'm sorry. Well, let me see here. It looks like a box, and then the other ones look pretty cool, but I don't know what it says. Thank you, Shillick and Dylan Swenson. Thank you, Will G. David Martinez, and Evil Ghost. Zelios, Snooper Spirit. Hold on, we're loading the next page. It's very... Thank you, Tropic! And thank you, John Mayer. Your body is wonderful. Thank you, Kirsten Soto. And Mio2 Strikes Back. Oh, thank you, Chuckster and Painful Choice. Thank you, TDSL G. Thank you. I still can't pronounce that. Thank you, the Club Rocker and the Prince of Ravens. Thank you, Lily Bunny, Scott LaBar, D's, aka Is That So? Thank you, Andy Devora, and Common Tree, and in parentheses, Sean. Thank you, Rad R, and GJR78, Jiggly Turbo, Kami, Zachary Alexander, the Sick White Tiger. Hope you're doing well, Tiger. Michael P. Elfrey 684, John Paul Hoare, Mr. Mohawk, The Wheels on the Bus. Go die, die, die? Is that it? Yep, it's still the same. No changes here. Good stuff. Thank you, Andrew Silverman, Greg Wolf, Mr. Bowler, Mio Kuroshima. Sorry. Thank you, Angel Bane, M Gamers, Ryan Cole, The Red 9, and RE4, Rivi Casey, Nikki Batelli, Jameson Wiley, John Garcia, Friend Carrick, Arpie Spies, Link the 8th. Come watch my streams. Who streams? Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Everyone who I just thanked, everyone who for some reason supports me on Patreon. I love you all, and thank you very much. And I hope you enjoyed the video and this magical end slate. I think I'm losing my voice. So I love you all. And well, what's the minute time on the end slate? Oh, only 7 minutes. Oh, like 8 minutes. That's disappointing considering the length of the video. Honestly, I'm pretty disappointed in myself, if I can be honest with you all. But I'll see you all next time on Enslate. Salute. Also, it was my birthday on the 24th. No one cares. No, and I.